This audiobook unveils the sacred dialect of abundance, the universal language that shapes your financial reality. As you listen, you'll uncover the truth. Money isn't just currency. It's a living force that responds to your thoughts and emotions. Learn to align with its frequency and unlock the limitless flow of prosperity that's been waiting for you. The secret language of money. Introduction. In the vast expanse of time, intricately interwoven with the essence of existence, lies a sacred dialect, the dialect of abundance. This ancient form of communication doesn't rely on words, but on energy, on vibration, on the very fabric of creation. Money, in its truest sense, is the tangible manifestation of this universal dialogue. As you find yourself on the brink of this discovery, understand that you are about to unveil wisdom hidden for generations. The connection between consciousness and wealth dates back to the very beginning of civilization, yet its truths have often been masked by misunderstanding and fear. Money transcends mere currency. It is a living force, a dynamic expression of the universal flow of abundance. Just as water carves its path through the terrain, money naturally gravitates toward those who grasp its true essence. This comprehension starts with an essential truth. Wealth originates in consciousness before it materializes in the physical world. The enigma of money's dialect lies in its precise reflection of your inner state. Each belief you hold, every emotion you nurture about abundance, creates ripples in the fabric of reality. These ripples either draw in or repel the flow of prosperity. Your thoughts and feelings about money are not just passive observations. They are powerful commands to the universe. To master this sacred dialect, you must first realize that your current financial situation is not a fixed reality, but a mirror reflecting your deepest beliefs about abundance. The patterns you observe in your material world are the direct translation of your internal conversation with the universe. As you prepare to decode this ancient dialect, understand that you are not learning something new, but rather recalling what your soul has always known. The wisdom of abundance runs through your very essence, waiting to be awakened. The journey ahead will help you clear the channels through which prosperity naturally flows, aligning your consciousness with the eternal laws of abundance. The moment has come to embrace this sacred knowledge, to remember the forgotten dialect that speaks directly to the heart of creation itself. Part 1. Awakening the Symphony of Wealth. Chapter 1. The Timeless Melody of Money. In the heart of an ancient kingdom lived Arion, whose melodies carried such pure resonance that they stirred the very essence of creation. As his fingers danced across the strings of his lyre, precious gems would mysteriously appear at his feet, gold coins would materialize in the air, and merchants would travel vast distances, drawn by an inexplicable force to offer their finest wares. The secret of Arion's power lay not in the notes themselves, but in the perfect harmony he achieved with the universal frequency of abundance. Money, you see, vibrates at a specific frequency, one that aligns perfectly with the energy of gratitude, joy, and expansive possibility. When your thoughts and emotions resonate with this frequency, you become like Arion, naturally drawing abundance toward you. This is not mysticism, but rather a fundamental law of energy. Like attracts like, and wealth flows to those who match its vibration. Your relationship with money is, at its core, a dance of energy. Every thought you hold about wealth, every emotion you associate with abundance, creates a specific frequency. When you worry about lack, you emit a discordant note that pushes prosperity away. When you feel abundant and grateful, you create a harmonious melody that attracts wealth effortlessly. Let me share with you the tale of Kamal, a merchant whose wares gathered dust in his shop while his competitors thrived. One evening, a wise woman passed by and observed his despair. "Your song is out of tune," she said simply. Confused, Kamal asked her meaning. She explained that his constant focus on scarcity created a barrier around his shop that wealth could not penetrate. The wise woman taught Kamal to begin each morning by giving thanks for what he had, to treat each coin that passed through his hands with reverence, and to find joy in the exchange of goods and currency. Gradually, his energy shifted. Where once he had projected fear and lack, he now radiated appreciation and abundance. Soon, customers began appearing as if by magic, drawn by the new frequency he had learned to emanate. Just as Kamal discovered, you too can learn to attune yourself to the frequency of wealth. The struggles you may face with money are not permanent conditions, but rather indicators that your energy needs realignment. By consciously shifting your vibration through gratitude and positive expectation, you can begin to naturally attract prosperity. Now let us practice this ancient art of energetic alignment. Find a quiet space and settle into a comfortable position. Close your eyes and imagine that money has its own musical signature, a beautiful, flowing melody that surrounds you constantly. Feel this melody beginning to synchronize with your heartbeat. As you breathe deeply, allow this harmony to expand, filling your entire being. Let it resonate through every cell, every thought, every emotion. This is the frequency of abundance, your birthright, waiting to be acknowledged and embraced. Chapter 2, Decoding Your Hidden Beliefs About Wealth. In a hidden cave beneath an ancient temple, Marcus discovered a weathered chest adorned with mysterious inscriptions. Inside lay a collection of stones, each carved with symbols representing different beliefs about wealth. Some depicted abundance flowing freely like a river, while others showed wealth trapped behind impenetrable walls. As Marcus studied each stone, he began to understand that these symbols mirrored the invisible barriers within his own mind. You too carry such symbols within your consciousness, beliefs etched deep into your being by family, society, and experience. These mental patterns shape your financial reality more powerfully than any external circumstance. When you believe money is the root of all evil, or wealth only comes through struggle, you create energetic walls that repel abundance. These subconscious programs operate like ancient spells, silently directing the flow of prosperity in your life. Perhaps you learned that rich people are greedy, or "I don't deserve wealth." Each such belief becomes a stone in the wall between you and abundance. Yet just as these limitations were written into your consciousness, they can be transformed through awareness and intention. In a distant valley lived an elder named Sophia, renowned for her wisdom about prosperity. A villager named Raj approached her, frustrated by his constant financial struggles. "Your troubles lie not in the world," Sophia told him, "but in the story you tell yourself about wealth." She instructed Raj to sit beside the flowing river each morning and envision himself as a channel through which the universe's infinite abundance could flow. At first, Raj resisted, his mind cluttered with doubts about his worthiness. But Sophia taught him to recognize these thoughts as merely inherited beliefs, not eternal truths. Day by day, Raj began to see himself differently, not as someone fighting for scarce resources, but as a steward of unlimited prosperity. As his inner narrative shifted, opportunities began appearing in unexpected ways. His small farm flourished and his generosity attracted abundance from unforeseen sources. Like Raj, You have the power to rewrite your wealth story. The limitations you experience reflect only the boundaries of your beliefs, not the true nature of abundance. By consciously choosing new thoughts about money, you create new pathways for prosperity to flow. Now take a moment for this transformative practice. On a piece of paper, write down one limiting belief about money that has held you back. Examine its origins. Did it come from your parents, society, or past experiences? Now mindfully craft an empowering statement that reflects the truth of unlimited abundance. Each morning, speak this new truth aloud, allowing it to gradually reshape your relationship with wealth. Chapter 3. Tuning into the vibration of abundance. In the misty peaks of an ancient mountain range, a wanderer named Elias discovered a peculiar object glinting in the morning sun. It was a crystal tuning fork, its surface etched with spiraling patterns that seemed to dance in the light. As he lifted it, the fork began to hum with a frequency that resonated deep within his being, awakening memories of his most cherished dreams. You possess within you a similar instrument of manifestation, your vibrational frequency. Just as Elias's tuning fork sang in harmony with his desires, your energy field constantly broadcasts a signal to the universe. This signal, composed of your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, acts as a magnetic force, drawing experiences that match its frequency. The law of vibrational alignment operates with mathematical precision. When you maintain a state of joyful expectation and grateful abundance, you naturally attract circumstances that mirror this energy. Yet many walk through life emanating frequencies of lack, worry, or unworthiness, then wonder why prosperity remains elusive. Picture your vibrational state as a musical note. The universe responds not to your words or wishes, but to the song your being sings. When your inner harmony aligns with the frequency of abundance, wealth flows to you as naturally as water seeks its level. In a valley blessed with extraordinary gardens lived a man named Chen. His plants grew with unprecedented vigor, producing harvests that amazed all who saw them. Yet Chen's neighbors, using the same soil and seeds, could never match his results. The secret, they discovered, lay not in his techniques, but in his habit of humming while he worked. Chen explained that he had learned to match his energy to the natural abundance of life itself. As he tended his gardens, his joyful melodies created a field of harmony that nourished everything within it. His plants responded not just to his care, but to the vibration of prosperity he maintained. Like Chen's garden, your life responds to the energy you cultivate. When you exist in a state of appreciation and expectancy, you create a vibrational environment where abundance naturally flourishes. This is not mere positive thinking. It is the conscious application of universal law. To begin aligning with prosperity's frequency, find a quiet space and practice this ancient technique. Close your eyes and envision yourself surrounded by radiant golden light. Feel its warmth penetrating every cell of your body, filling you with pure joy and unlimited abundance. Let this light dissolve any resistance or doubt, raising your vibration to match the frequency of prosperity. Maintain this state for several minutes, allowing your entire being to resonate with wealth's natural harmony. Chapter 4. The Eternal Exchange. In the annals of time, there existed two neighboring kingdoms separated by a winding river. The kingdom of Aurum, gleaming with hoarded gold, kept its wealth locked away in towering vaults. Its people walked with downcast eyes, clutching their coins close. Across the river lay the realm of Dinara, where wealth flowed like the waters that sustained it. Here, abundance circulated freely among its citizens, each giving and receiving in natural rhythm. You must understand that these two kingdoms represent the eternal dance of prosperity, The universal law dictates that wealth, like water, must flow to maintain its vitality. When you grasp too tightly, you create resistance to this natural current. Yet when you participate in the cycle of giving and receiving, you align with the very essence of abundance. The kingdom of Aram, despite its vast treasures, began to wither. Its gardens grew barren, its markets empty, its people increasingly isolated in their fear of loss. Meanwhile, Dinara flourished, its streets alive with commerce and celebration, its citizens prospering through their shared abundance. This eternal truth echoes through the ages. Wealth multiplies through movement. Each act of giving creates a ripple in the universal field of abundance, returning to its source, amplified. This is not mere charity. It is the conscious participation in life's natural exchange. In the bustling port city of Merkaz lived a merchant named Ibrahim. Each morning, he would share a portion of his daily earnings with those in need before conducting any business. Other merchants mocked his practice, warning that such generosity would lead to ruin. Yet with each passing season, Ibrahim's wealth grew while others struggled. One day, a fellow merchant asked Ibrahim to share his secret. "I have learned," Ibrahim replied, "that wealth is like the breath. It must flow both ways to sustain life. In giving, I create space to receive. In receiving, I gain more to give. This is the natural way." Through Ibrahim's wisdom, you glimpse a fundamental truth. Generosity is not a sacrifice, but an investment in the field of infinite possibilities. Each gift offered with a joyful heart sets in motion forces that return multiplied. This is not about the amount given, but the spirit in which it is offered. The wisdom contained in these tales speaks directly to your journey with wealth. As you align with this natural law of giving and receiving, you become a conscious participant in the flow of abundance. Release the fear that holds back your generosity, and watch as the universe responds in kind. To embody this ancient wisdom, engage in this sacred practice. Today, offer something of value to another, be it your time, your energy, or your resources. Observe how this act of giving affects your inner state. Notice the subtle shift in your relationship with abundance. Through this practice, you activate the eternal cycle of prosperity. Chapter 5. The Gratitude Gateway to Prosperity. In the fertile valleys of an ancient land, there lived a farmer named Yusuf, whose relationship with the soil revealed the sacred connection between gratitude and abundance. While other farmers struggled with meager harvests, Yusuf's fields flourished with golden wheat and succulent fruits. Each morning, before touching his tools, he would kneel and press his hands into the earth, whispering words of thanks for its generous gifts. You see, the very essence of abundance flows through the channel of appreciation. Just as Yusuf understood that his gratitude nourished the soil as much as water and sunlight, you too must recognize that thankfulness creates a magnetic field that attracts prosperity. This is not mere sentiment. It is a universal law as reliable as the changing of seasons. When your heart overflows with genuine appreciation, you align with the very frequency of abundance. This alignment opens channels through which wealth naturally flows. Think of gratitude as the key that unlocks the treasury of the universe. The tale of Marcus, a wanderer in search of great riches, further illuminates this truth. For years he traveled far and wide, passing by countless small blessings, the coin at his feet, the meal offered by strangers, the shelter during storms. His eyes fixed on distant treasures, he failed to notice the abundance already surrounding him. One night, seeking refuge in a mountain cave, Marcus encountered an old mystic who taught him to count his blessings each evening by candlelight. As Marcus began acknowledging these daily gifts, something remarkable occurred. The more he appreciated what he had, the more prosperity flowed into his life. What he once considered insignificant revealed itself as the very foundation of true wealth. This wisdom speaks directly to your relationship with money. When you view your current financial state through the lens of gratitude, you transform its very nature. Each coin, each bill, each transaction becomes an opportunity to connect with the flow of abundance. Even in moments of perceived lack, gratitude reveals hidden treasures. To activate this ancient practice of appreciation, create a sacred evening ritual. As the day draws to a close, take your journal and inscribe 3 specific blessings that have contributed to your sense of abundance. Let your heart truly feel the warmth of thankfulness as you acknowledge these gifts. This simple act aligns your energy with the eternal flow of prosperity, preparing the soil of your consciousness for greater abundance to take root. Chapter 6. Your Thoughts. In a sunlit studio among ancient olive groves, there lived an artist named Isabella, whose brush strokes held a mystical power. Each morning, as golden light streamed through her windows, she would sit before blank canvases and paint the images that danced in her mind. What made her extraordinary was not merely her technique, but the way her paintings seemed to shimmer with life, eventually manifesting in the physical world. You possess this same creative force within you. Your thoughts are like Isabella's brushstrokes, painting the canvas of your reality with each passing moment. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, responds to these mental images with unwavering precision, transforming them into tangible experiences. Just as Isabella learned to wield her brush with intention, you must learn to direct your thoughts with purpose. Every idea you hold about wealth plants a seed in the fertile soil of universal consciousness. These seeds grow into the very circumstances you experience in your financial life. This truth becomes clearer in the tale of Gabriel, a man whose garden withered under the shadow of his pessimistic thoughts. Though blessed with rich soil and abundant rain, Gabriel's constant worry about scarcity and failure poisoned the ground beneath his feet. Each fearful thought about lack bred more lack. Each anxious prediction about poverty manifested as truth, until his once flourishing garden became a reflection of his inner landscape. The law operates with mathematical precision. What you plant in the soil of your mind will grow. When you consistently nurture thoughts of abundance, prosperity responds in kind. When you imagine wealth flowing freely into your life, you create channels through which it can manifest. To harness this creative power, establish a sacred morning practice. As the first light of dawn breaks, find a quiet space where you can be undisturbed. Close your eyes and allow your imagination to paint a vivid picture of the prosperity you desire. See yourself moving through a life of abundance. Feel the joy of financial freedom. Experience the peace of complete prosperity. Let these images sink deeply into your consciousness, knowing they are seeds being planted in fertile soil. This is not mere fantasy. It is the conscious use of the same creative force that brings forth flowers from tiny seeds and transforms acorns into mighty oaks. You are the artist of your financial reality, and your thoughts are your brush. Paint wisely, paint with intention, and watch as your masterpiece of abundance takes form in the physical world. Each morning, dedicate 5 minutes to visualizing yourself surrounded by the wealth and success you desire. Let these images be as detailed and vivid as possible, engaging all your senses in this creative act. Chapter 7. Emotion. In the ancient city of Astara, where music flowed through the streets like water, there lived a composer named Marcus. Each morning he would ascend the marble steps of the great concert hall, his heart heavy with the burden of creating music worthy of the grand space. Though his technical skill was unmatched, his compositions left audiences unmoved, like paintings without color. One evening, as moonlight filtered through the hall's stained glass windows, an aging maestro approached Marcus. "Your notes are perfect," the maestro whispered, "but they lack the breath of life. Each emotion you feel becomes a thread in the tapestry of your creation. When you conduct from joy, you conduct the very forces of the universe. You, like Marcus, are the conductor of your own symphony of abundance. Your emotions serve as the invisible force that amplifies your thoughts into powerful magnetic signals that the universe cannot ignore." Just as Marcus discovered that his feelings infused his music with transformative power, your emotional state determines the strength of your attraction to wealth. When Marcus finally understood this truth, he began composing from a place of pure joy. His music soared with newfound vitality, and soon the concert hall overflowed with patrons, their generosity matching the emotional richness of his compositions. This wisdom echoes in the tale of Armand, a humble shepherd who discovered that his flock multiplied most abundantly when his heart sang with gratitude and contentment. Though other shepherds possessed larger pastures and finer equipment, Armand's pure joy seemed to cast a spell of prosperity over his lands. His sheep grew healthier, their wool thicker, and buyers traveled from distant lands, drawn by an inexplicable force to trade with him. The universe responds not just to your thoughts, but to the emotional energy charging them. When you infuse your desires for abundance with genuine excitement, heartfelt gratitude, and unshakable joy, you create a magnetic field that draws prosperity toward you with irresistible force. Like a masterful conductor, your emotions direct the symphony of universal energies, orchestrating the flow of abundance into your life. Select one emotion that resonates with abundance, perhaps joy, excitement, or gratitude. Throughout your day, consciously amplify this feeling within you. Let it color your thoughts about money, wealth, and prosperity. Notice how this emotional attunement begins to conduct new opportunities and resources into your experience. Chapter 8. Breaking the Chains of Scarcity. In the forgotten valleys of the East lived Ibrahim, a man who dwelt in a peculiar prison. No walls confined him, no chains bound his limbs, yet he remained trapped within invisible barriers of his own making. Each day he would venture only to the edge of his small garden, convinced that an unseen force prevented him from going further. The villagers who passed by would call out, inviting him to join them in the marketplace or to feast at their tables. Yet Ibrahim would shake his head, muttering about the dangers that lurked beyond his self-imposed boundaries. Years passed this way until a wandering mystic paused at his gate. "What keeps you here?" the mystic asked. "The barrier," Ibrahim replied. "Can you not see it?" "Show me," said the mystic. Ibrahim approached his garden's edge, his hand outstretched to demonstrate the invisible wall. But as the mystic watched in silence, Ibrahim's fingers passed through empty air. In that moment, the illusion shattered, and Ibrahim realized the prison had existed only in his mind. You too may be dwelling in such an invisible prison of scarcity thinking. The walls that seem to separate you from abundance are as intangible as the barrier that held Ibrahim captive. These limitations exist solely in your perception, yet they shape your reality as surely as stone and steel. Consider the tale of Yasmin, a builder who once believed she could only work with the materials she saw before her. When supplies ran low, she would halt her projects, trapped by the appearance of limitation. One night in a dream, she saw herself building magnificent structures from light and air. Upon waking, she realized that resources were not fixed things, but fluid possibilities waiting to be recognized. Where others saw scarcity, Yasmin began to perceive opportunity. An old pile of stones transformed into a beautiful mosaic. Discarded wood became intricate carvings. Her creativity flourished as she released her attachment to conventional resources, and soon her works attracted patrons who supplied her with all she needed and more. The prison of scarcity exists only in your thoughts, just as Ibrahim's barrier was merely a belief. Each time you declare, "I cannot afford this," or "there isn't enough," you reinforce the invisible walls of lack. But like Yasmin, you can train your mind to perceive the abundant possibilities that surround you at every moment. When you catch yourself thinking, "I can't afford it," pause and consciously shift your perspective. Replace this limiting thought with questions that open doors. How can I create value to afford this? Or what unexpected opportunities might provide this? This simple practice begins to dissolve the invisible barriers of scarcity consciousness, revealing the unlimited potential that has always existed around you. Chapter 9. The Wealth Mirror. In the heart of an ancient temple stood a mirror unlike any other. Those who gazed into its crystalline surface saw not their physical form, but the reflection of their innermost beliefs about wealth and abundance. A merchant named Karim discovered this mirror one fateful morning, and as he stood before it, he saw himself clothed in tattered rags, though in reality he wore fine silks. The mirror showed him what his heart believed, that he was undeserving of prosperity. You, like Karim, carry within you a reflection that shapes your financial reality. The world of abundance responds not to your outer appearance, but to the image you hold in the depths of your being. When you stand before the mirror of life, what reflection greets you? The universe operates as this mystical mirror, returning to you precisely what you believe about yourself. Your financial circumstances, your relationship with money, your ability to receive abundance, all mirror the thoughts and feelings you hold about your own worth. Listen now to the tale of Amira, a wanderer who lost her way in the endless dunes of the desert. Exhausted and parched, she stumbled upon an oasis where a pool of still water beckoned. As she bent to drink, her reflection shocked her, for in the water's surface she saw herself adorned in royal robes, a crown of gold upon her head. At first she laughed at this strange vision, but as she continued to gaze, something stirred within her soul. The reflection showed her not what she was, but what she had always been, a queen who had forgotten her true identity. From that day forward, Amira carried herself differently. Her posture straightened, her voice grew confident, and her decisions reflected the wisdom of a ruler. Soon, opportunities for wealth began to appear as if by magic, though in truth they had always existed. She had simply been unable to recognize them while viewing herself as a lost wanderer. Your relationship with money transforms the moment you recognize your true reflection. Like Amira, you may have been viewing yourself through a distorted lens, seeing lack where abundance awaits. The mirror of prosperity reflects back your deepest beliefs about worthiness and value. Stand before a mirror, meeting your own gaze with gentle awareness. See beyond the physical form to the divine essence that dwells within. Place your hand over your heart and speak these words with conviction. I am worthy of infinite abundance. Let this truth sink deeply into your being, transforming your inner reflection to align with the prosperity that is your natural state. Chapter 10. Awakening the Infinite Abundance Within. In the heart of a bustling marketplace, a wise woman named Yasmin sat day after day, selling simple clay pots. Passers-by hurried past her modest stall, seeking grander treasures in exotic shops. Yet Yasmin smiled knowingly, for within each of her seemingly ordinary vessels lay a secret, a thin layer of pure gold leaf, invisible to those who never thought to look inside. You, like those rushing through the marketplace, may overlook the treasure that already exists within you. The wealth you seek does not require a journey to distant lands or the acquisition of mysterious knowledge. It dwells in the quiet spaces of your being, waiting to be recognized. The universe has planted seeds of abundance in every soul, much like the gold leaf hidden within Yasmin's pots. Your task is not to create prosperity, but to unveil what already exists. This truth liberates you from the endless pursuit of external riches, turning your gaze inward to the infinite wellspring of abundance that flows through you. In a distant mountain village lived Marcus, a sculptor known for transforming ordinary stones into works of breathtaking beauty. When asked about his gift, he would say, "I do not create the beauty. I simply remove what conceals it. Within every stone sleeps a masterpiece, waiting to be freed." One day, a wealthy collector challenged Marcus to prove his philosophy. He presented the sculptor with a rough, unsightly boulder, demanding to see the beauty within. Marcus worked steadily, his chisel moving with certainty and grace. As layers of rock fell away, a magnificent angel emerged, its wings poised for flight. The collector stood amazed, but Marcus simply nodded, saying, "She was there all along." Like Marcus's angel trapped within the stone, your abundance exists in its complete form, requiring only the gentle removal of beliefs and patterns that hide it from view. Each limiting thought you release, each fear you transform, reveals more of the prosperity that has always been yours. The journey to wealth begins not with accumulation, but with recognition. Just as a sculptor sees the finished masterpiece within raw stone, you must learn to perceive the abundance that already flows through your life. This perception itself becomes the chisel that unveils your true prosperity. Find a quiet space where you can be undisturbed. Close your eyes and breathe deeply, allowing your awareness to turn inward. With each breath, repeat the affirmation, "All the abundance I seek is already within me." Let these words sink into your consciousness, not as a hope for the future, but as a recognition of present truth. Practice this meditation daily, allowing the reality of your inner wealth to emerge naturally, like a sculpture being freed from stone. Part 2. Dancing with the Flow of Money. Chapter 11. The Spiritual Blueprint of Wealth. In the ancient city of Meridia, an architect named Ibrahim spent his days crafting buildings of extraordinary beauty. While others relied solely on mathematical precision, Ibrahim discovered an old scroll containing sacred geometric patterns that seemed to pulse with life itself. As he incorporated these designs into his work, his buildings began to radiate an inexplicable harmony that drew people from distant lands. You stand at a similar threshold of discovery. The flow of wealth in your life follows precise spiritual blueprints, patterns as old as creation itself. These universal laws operate with unwavering consistency, shaping the currents of abundance just as gravity shapes the flow of rivers. The law of cause and effect weaves through every financial transaction, every monetary decision. Each thought you plant, each action you take, creates ripples that return to you multiplied. This is not merely metaphysical theory, but a fundamental principle governing the universe's operation. When you align your financial choices with these timeless laws, abundance flows as naturally as water seeking its level. Consider the tale of Marcus, a sailor renowned for navigating the most treacherous waters. While others relied on maps and charts alone, Marcus learned to read the stars, understanding that celestial patterns guided earthly journeys. One stormy night, when waves threatened to overwhelm his vessel, Marcus looked beyond the chaos to the unchanging constellations above. By aligning his course with these eternal guides, he steered his ship to safety, while others foundered in the tempest. Like Marcus's stars, universal principles illuminate your path to prosperity. Just as celestial bodies move in perfect orchestration, your financial life responds to spiritual laws that transcend temporal circumstances. The turbulent waters of economic uncertainty need not defeat you when you navigate by these eternal truths. Your financial life is not random chance, but a sacred design unfolding according to your alignment with universal law. Every transaction, every exchange of energy, follows this divine architecture. When you understand these principles, you transform your relationship with money from one of struggle to one of flowing harmony. Find a peaceful moment and take out your journal. Write a detailed vision of your ideal financial life, but look beyond mere numbers. Explore how this vision embodies universal principles. How does it allow you to give generously to others? How does it express gratitude for what you receive? How does it align with the natural flow of abundance? Let your vision become a living blueprint, guided by the same sacred geometry that governs all creation. As you write, feel how your words align with the eternal patterns of prosperity that have guided seekers throughout the ages. Chapter 12. Aligning your purpose with prosperity. In a village among ancient mountains lived Ezra, a blacksmith whose forge burned day and night. Though skilled in his craft, his creations remained ordinary until the day he discovered an age-old truth. While working late one evening, exhausted from crafting items that brought him no joy, he paused to remember why he had first chosen this path. As a child, he had dreamed of creating objects of beauty that would inspire others. In that moment of remembrance, something shifted. The flames of his forge danced with new life, and from his hammer flowed a key unlike any other, one that seemed to shimmer with inner light. You too possess such transformative power within your being. The universe speaks through your deepest calling, your authentic purpose. When you align your actions with this sacred mission, the gates of abundance swing wide. This is not mere coincidence, but the operation of a fundamental law. Purpose attracts prosperity. Consider how water flows naturally downhill, seeking its destined path. In the same way, wealth flows most freely when your actions align with your soul's true direction. This alignment creates an energetic resonance that the universe cannot help but answer with abundance. Witness the story of Amara, a dancer in the royal court. Though technically perfect, her performances left audiences unmoved until she faced a truth within herself. Dancing had become a mere display of skill, divorced from the joy that had first drawn her to movement. One evening, instead of performing the prescribed steps, she allowed her heart to guide her motion. As she danced with pure joy, the audience sat transfixed, moved to tears by the authenticity of her expression. That night, her true purpose merged with her craft, and her fame spread throughout the land. This tale mirrors your own journey with wealth. When your work becomes merely a means to accumulate money, the flow of abundance often feels constrained. But when your actions spring from authentic purpose, when your work serves something greater than yourself, prosperity follows as naturally as dawn follows night. Your purpose is not a distant goal to be reached, but a present reality waiting to be embraced. It flows through every choice, every action, every moment you choose alignment over expedience. The wealth you seek becomes a natural expression of living this truth. Take your journal and find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Allow yourself to explore this question. What activities make you lose track of time? What work would you do even if you weren't paid? Write freely, letting your inner wisdom speak. Then identify one specific action you can take today, no matter how small, that moves you closer to living this purpose. This step, taken with conscious intent, begins to align your energy with the natural flow of abundance. Chapter 13, Affirmations that Rewire Your Wealth DNA. In the ancient halls of wisdom, there lived a scribe named Cairo who discovered a mysterious scroll emanating dark energy. The parchment bore inscriptions that cast shadows of lack and limitation upon all who read them. Yet Cairo possessed knowledge passed down through generations, the sacred art of transforming words into reality. With golden ink drawn from the morning sun, he began carefully inscribing new phrases of abundance over the cursed text. As each word took form, the scroll's darkness lifted, replaced by a radiant glow. The power of your words shapes the very fabric of your reality. Each thought you speak or write carries vibrations that ripple through the universe, programming your subconscious mind and attracting corresponding experiences. When you consciously choose words of abundance, you initiate a profound transformation in your relationship with wealth. Your mind responds to repetition, much like a garden responds to consistent nurturing. Each time you voice an affirmation with genuine feeling, you plant a seed of possibility in the fertile soil of your consciousness. These seeds, watered by emotion and tended with faith, grow into new neural pathways that attract prosperity. In the valleys of an ancient kingdom lived a healer named Maya, who understood this truth. When drought left the fields barren, she gathered the villagers at dawn each day. Together, they chanted words of renewal, infusing their voices with unwavering belief. The land flourishes, crops multiply, abundance flows. Day after day they continued, even when no change was visible. Then, as their words took root in the collective consciousness, the first green shoots emerged from the soil. Their sustained faith, expressed through powerful affirmations, had transformed the very earth beneath their feet. Like Maya and her villagers, you hold the power to transform your financial reality through conscious use of words. Your affirmations become instructions to the universe, particularly when charged with emotion and conviction. The key lies not in mechanical repetition, but in feeling the truth of your words as you speak them. Find a quiet moment at sunrise or sunset. Take your journal and write 3 affirmations that resonate deeply with your vision of abundance. Let these words flow naturally, speaking to your highest aspirations for wealth and prosperity. Each morning, stand before a mirror and speak these affirmations aloud with complete conviction, allowing yourself to feel the truth of these statements in every cell of your being. Your words are seeds of transformation, and through consistent practice they will blossom into your new reality. Chapter 14, Crafting Your Vision of Limitless Riches. In a village among ancient mountains lived an artist named Isabella, whose brushstrokes held mysterious power. Each morning she would sit before her canvas, closing her eyes to first see her creation in perfect detail within her mind. Only when the image became crystal clear would she lift her brush. As she painted with unwavering focus and pure intention, something magical occurred. Her artwork began stepping into reality. Trees she painted sprouted from the ground, streams flowed from her watercolors, and abundance manifested from her golden-hued scenes. Your mind possesses this same creative force. When you hold an image with clarity and sustained focus, You activate the universal law of manifestation. Like an architect drawing detailed blueprints before construction begins, your visualization creates the energetic template that reality follows. The key lies in the precision of your mental picture. Vague wishes scatter like leaves in the wind, but crystal-clear visions act as magnetic forces, drawing circumstances and opportunities that match their frequency. As you visualize your desired financial reality, engage all your senses. Feel the texture of abundance. Hear the sounds of prosperity. See the details of wealth flowing through your life. In the vast desert wastes wandered a man named Rashid, who had lost his way. Parched and weary, he began to visualize with extraordinary detail. The sound of water trickling over rocks, the feel of cool shade, the sight of abundant fruit hanging from trees. He held this vision with such clarity and conviction that his feet naturally carried him forward. As dawn broke, he discovered an oasis matching his vision in every detail, as though his mind had called it into being. Like Isabella's paintings and Rashid's oasis, your financial destiny responds to the pictures you hold in your mind. When you infuse your visualization with emotion and unwavering belief, you transform abstract possibilities into concrete reality. The universe conspires to match your inner vision, orchestrating events and opportunities that align with your mental blueprint. Take 10 minutes now to create your vision. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and begin crafting the picture of your ideal financial life. See yourself moving through this reality. The home you live in, the work you do, the way you use your wealth to benefit others. Feel the emotions of living in this abundance. Hear the conversations you have about money. Let every detail become sharp and clear in your mind. This is not mere daydreaming, it is the sacred act of imprinting your destiny upon the canvas of consciousness. Chapter 15. Sacred Wealth Rituals to Awaken Your Magnetic Field. High in the mountains, beneath the luminous glow of the full moon, lived a sage named Amara. Each evening, as moonlight bathed the earth in silver, she would perform an ancient ritual passed down through generations. With precise movements, she would arrange crystals in a circle, light sacred herbs, and move in harmony with the celestial rhythms above. As she performed these sacred acts with unwavering devotion, the very air around her began to shimmer with golden light, drawing forth abundance like moths to a flame. You possess this same ability to create sacred space and ritual in your life. Through consistent, intentional practice, you forge a direct channel to the universal flow of prosperity. These are not mere routines, but powerful ceremonies that align your energy with the infinite abundance of the cosmos. Each ritual you perform with conscious intent strengthens your magnetic field, attuning your frequency to that of wealth and prosperity. Like a radio finding its perfect station, your dedicated practice eliminates static and creates crystal-clear reception for abundance. In a distant valley lived Marcus, a humble gardener whose plants thrived beyond all natural explanation. His secret lay not in special fertilizers or techniques, but in the loving ritual he performed each morning. He would touch each plant with reverence, whisper words of encouragement, and tend to them as if they were precious gems. Under his careful ministrations, even the most modest seeds grew into magnificent bounty. Your relationship with abundance requires the same devoted attention. Through daily ritual, you nurture the seeds of prosperity within your consciousness, creating conditions for wealth to naturally flourish. Each practice becomes a sacred act of alignment, drawing you closer to the infinite source of all abundance. The time has come to establish your own prosperity ritual. Find a quiet moment each day, preferably at sunrise or sunset, when you can fully dedicate yourself to this practice. Begin by creating a sacred space, perhaps lighting a candle or arranging meaningful objects around you. Open your ritual with gratitude, acknowledging the abundance already present in your life. Move into visualization, seeing yourself surrounded by prosperity in all its forms. Complete your practice by speaking an affirmation that resonates with your highest vision of wealth. This is not a mere exercise, it is a sacred communion with the universal forces of abundance. Approach it with reverence, consistency, and unwavering faith in its power to transform your reality. Chapter 16. Forgiveness. In a bustling marketplace of old, there lived a merchant named Ibrahim who carried not only his wares, but also the heavy burden of debts and resentments. Each morning, he would meticulously record in his ledger the names of those who owed him money and those to whom he owed favors. The weight of these records grew until his shoulders bent beneath their invisible load. You, like Ibrahim, may carry similar burdens. Debts that weigh upon your spirit, resentments that cloud your vision, regrets that anchor you to past financial mistakes. Yet within these challenges lies a profound truth. Forgiveness serves as the key that unlocks the flow of abundance. The universal law speaks clearly: where forgiveness flows, prosperity follows. Each grievance you hold creates an energetic blockage, like a dam restricting the natural current of wealth. These blockages manifest as patterns of lack, struggle, or persistent financial challenges. Ibrahim's transformation began the day he discovered an ancient scroll that spoke of releasing debts to receive abundance. With trembling hands, he began to erase the names from his ledger, forgiving both others and himself. As each name vanished, a lightness filled his being. Soon, unexpected opportunities appeared, and his business flourished as never before. Consider how this truth operates in your own life. Financial wounds from the past, betrayals, losses, mistakes, create invisible barriers to your prosperity. By holding on to these grievances, you unknowingly perpetuate patterns of scarcity. In a distant workshop, a sculptor named Maya worked tirelessly on a block of marble. Rather than forcing the stone to conform to her will, she approached her craft as an act of forgiveness, gently removing what didn't belong until the inherent beauty emerged. "I do not create," she would say. "I simply free what lies within." Your relationship with wealth requires this same gentle release. Through forgiveness, you remove the layers of pain, guilt, and resentment that obscure your natural state of abundance. Each act of forgiveness cleanses your energy field, allowing prosperity to flow unimpeded. The moment has come to embrace this sacred practice of financial forgiveness. Take a piece of parchment and write a letter, to yourself or another, expressing all the financial grievances you've carried. Pour your truth onto the page without judgment. Then, in a sacred act of release, burn or discard the letter, letting the winds of transformation carry away these old energies. As you do, feel the lightness that comes with true forgiveness, and watch as the path to prosperity clears before you. Chapter 17. The Circle of Giving. In a distant valley where mountains touched the sky, there lived a farmer named Soren who tended a barren field. Each morning he would gaze upon the dusty earth, his heart heavy with worry about feeding his family. Yet within his weathered hands he held a handful of precious seeds, his last hope for survival. You, like Soren, may find yourself facing moments when resources seem scarce. The natural impulse is to hold tight, to protect what little you have. Yet the ancient wisdom reveals a paradox that transforms this limited thinking. As Soren planted his seeds, travelers passed by his field. Despite his own uncertainty, something moved him to share half his seeds with these wanderers. "Plant these in your own lands," he said, his voice trembling with both fear and faith. The law of circulation operates with perfect precision in the universe. Like the breath that must be released to receive fresh air, wealth must flow outward to create space for new abundance to enter. Every act of giving initiates a cycle of receiving. As seasons passed, Soren's crops flourished beyond imagination. More remarkably, the travelers he had helped returned with seeds from distant lands, each variety more bountiful than the last. His single field became a tapestry of abundance, feeding not just his family but the entire valley. In the marketplace of Andalusia, a shopkeeper named Hassan faced a similar test. During a devastating famine, he chose to share his dwindling supplies with hungry villagers. Each evening, as he distributed his goods freely, his shelves seemed emptier. Yet each morning, mysterious caravans arrived, bringing rare merchandise and unexpected opportunities. The universe responds to the energy of giving with mathematical precision. When you give with an open heart, you declare your trust in the infinite supply of the universe. This declaration activates forces beyond your current understanding, multiplying your prosperity in unexpected ways. Through these stories, the ancient truth becomes clear. Giving is not a loss, but an investment in the cosmic flow of abundance. Each act of generosity creates ripples that return as waves of prosperity. Choose one meaningful way to give today, knowing that the form of your generosity matters less than the spirit behind it. It need not be monetary. Share your time, your knowledge, your compassion, or your resources freely with those who cross your path. A kind word to a stranger, a moment of genuine attention to someone in need, or a small gift given with great love can create ripples of positive energy that expand far beyond your sight. As you give, observe the subtle shifts in your energy and the lightness that fills your being. Notice how the act of giving creates an immediate expansion in your spirit, opening new channels for abundance to flow through you. This practice of conscious giving attunes you to the natural rhythms of universal prosperity, allowing you to become a more perfect vessel for the infinite blessings that seek expression through your life. Chapter 18. Sealing the leaks in your wealth vessel. In a bustling desert city there lived a water carrier named Tamir, who earned his living transporting precious water from the oasis to wealthy households. Through years of diligent work, he amassed considerable wealth, storing his gold coins in the same vessels he used to carry water. Yet unknown to him, tiny holes had formed in the base of his vessels, causing both water and coins to leak away gradually. You possess a vessel of energy that attracts and holds wealth. Like Tamir's containers, this vessel may develop subtle leaks that drain your prosperity. These leaks manifest as habits that deplete your vitality, thoughts that diminish your power, and emotions that scatter your focus. Each day, Tamir wondered why his fortune dwindled despite his constant work. Only when an observant child pointed to the trail of coins behind him did he realize the source of his loss. Similarly, your financial energy may escape through channels you've overlooked. Excessive worry about money, relationships that drain your resources, or activities that waste your precious time and attention. The universal law of energy conservation teaches that power must be contained to be utilized. When your vessel is whole, your manifesting ability strengthens. When it leaks, even the most abundant flow will eventually run dry. In the iron district of the same city lived a blacksmith named Kenzo who faced a similar challenge. His forge developed cracks that weakened its heat, threatening his livelihood. Rather than abandon the forge, he discovered an ancient technique of filling the cracks with molten gold. Not only did this repair the damage, but it made the forge stronger and more beautiful than before. Like Kenzo's golden repairs, you can transform your energy leaks into sources of strength. Each time you identify a draining pattern and consciously seal it with positive practice, your capacity for wealth expands. These repairs become golden lines of wisdom in your life's vessel. The universe responds to contained energy with increased power. When you seal the leaks in your financial vessel through mindful awareness and decisive action, you create a stronger container for abundance to fill. Find a quiet moment to examine your daily patterns. Notice where your energy disperses, perhaps through excessive social media use, negative self-talk, or procrastination. Choose one of these leaks and seal it with a strengthening practice. If worry drains you, replace it with meditation. If scattered focus weakens your vessel, fortify it with dedicated work periods. Document this transformation in your journal, marking the moment you chose to strengthen your vessel of prosperity. Chapter 19. Trusting the divine flow of abundance. Along the shores of an ancient sea lived a fisherman named Adal. Each morning he would rush to cast his nets at first light, fighting against the tides and exhausting himself in pursuit of the day's catch. Despite his relentless efforts, his nets often came up empty. You, like Adal, may find yourself straining against the natural rhythms of abundance. In your eagerness to manifest wealth, you push and struggle, creating resistance where flow should exist. One day, an elder fisherman observed Adal's frustrated attempts and shared wisdom passed down through generations. The sea gives her bounty not to those who demand, but to those who understand her rhythm. This truth transformed Adal's approach. He learned to read the tides, to sense the perfect moment when the waters would bring abundance to his nets. The universe operates with perfect timing, orchestrating circumstances beyond your current vision. When you surrender your need to control every aspect of your financial manifestation, you align with this divine orchestration. In a village high in the mountains lived a baker named Maya who crafted the most exquisite bread. Yet her early attempts were marked by impatience. She would constantly check the dough, knead it repeatedly, disrupting the natural process of rising. Only when she learned to step back, to trust the interaction of yeast and flour, did her bread achieve perfection. Like Maya's bread, your prosperity requires periods of unseen growth. During these times, your role is not to force or manipulate, but to maintain unwavering faith in the process. Every moment of trust builds the foundation for future abundance. When you release your grip on how and when abundance should appear, you open yourself to receive in ways far greater than your limited perspective could imagine. This surrender is not passive waiting, but active faith, a profound trust in the wisdom of universal timing. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed, a sacred corner where the whispers of the world fall away. Close your eyes and breathe deeply, allowing each breath to carry you deeper into presence. As you settle into stillness, repeat with genuine feeling, I trust the universe to deliver my abundance at the perfect time. Let this affirmation sink into your being for 5 minutes, releasing all need to control the process. Feel how your shoulders soften, how your mind quiets its constant planning. With each repetition, surrender more fully into the infinite wisdom that orchestrates all of creation. Feel the peace that comes with complete trust in divine timing, knowing that just as the flowers bloom without forcing their petals open, your abundance unfolds in accordance with universal law. In this space of deep acceptance, you align with the natural flow of prosperity. Chapter 20. Mastering the Dialogue of Prosperity. In a distant land where ancient scrolls held forgotten wisdom, there lived a linguist named Theron who dedicated his life to uncovering lost languages. Among dusty tomes and weathered manuscripts, he discovered peculiar symbols that seemed to pulse with living energy. These markings, he learned, formed the sacred language of abundance, a way of communicating directly with the universal forces of prosperity. You possess this same ability to speak the language of wealth, though it may lie dormant within you. Like Theron, you must first recognize that every word you utter creates ripples in the fabric of creation, shaping the reality that manifests around you. The universe responds not just to your spoken words, but to the energy they carry. When you declare, "I am blessed with genuine feeling," you initiate a dialogue with the infinite. Your thoughts and emotions form sentences in this cosmic conversation, attracting circumstances that match their frequency. Consider how a gentle stream shapes stones over time. This is how your daily dialogue with money molds your financial reality. Harsh words of lack create resistance, while expressions of gratitude open channels for flow. Each complaint about bills becomes a barrier, while each statement of appreciation builds a bridge to greater abundance. In the bustling markets of an ancient city lived a merchant named Sarai. Unlike other vendors who haggled aggressively, she spoke to each customer with genuine warmth and blessing. "May this purchase bring you joy," she would say, or "I am grateful for the opportunity to serve you." Over time, her shop became known not just for its wares, but for the feeling of abundance that lingered in every transaction. Customers returned not only for her goods, but for the prosperity her words seemed to bestow. This tale mirrors the power you hold in your own commercial exchanges. Every financial interaction offers an opportunity to speak the language of abundance. When you bless the money you spend and express gratitude for what you receive, you participate in the ancient dialogue of prosperity. The practice of speaking to money may seem strange at first, yet it follows the eternal principle that energy flows where attention goes. By consciously choosing words that honor and appreciate wealth, you attune yourself to its frequency. As night falls and the day's activities settle into silence, find a moment of solitude. In this sacred space, speak aloud your gratitude for money's presence in your life. Thank it for the shelter it provides, the opportunities it creates, the freedom it offers. Let your words carry the warmth of genuine appreciation. I thank you, money, for flowing into my life. I am grateful for all the ways you serve and support me. I appreciate your presence and the opportunities you bring. Feel how these words resonate within you, creating a harmonious dialogue with the universal forces of abundance. Part 3. Becoming the Conductor of Infinite Prosperity. Chapter 21. Awakening the Creator Within. In the shadows of ancient mountains dwelt a potter named Maya, whose vessels were sought after throughout the land. While others created ordinary containers, Maya's pieces seemed to hold magic within their curves. Yet she had not always possessed this gift. In her early days, her pots would crack and collapse, refusing to take shape beneath her frustrated hands. One moonlit night, as she sat before her wheel, Maya noticed how the clay responded differently when her heart was at peace. When she approached her work with joy, the vessel would rise gracefully. When doubt clouded her mind, the clay would resist her touch. Through this observation, she discovered that the material before her was more than mere earth. It was a mirror of her inner state. You too are a creator, molding the substance of your reality through your thoughts, emotions, and intentions. Like the clay beneath Maya's hands, the universal energy of wealth responds to your inner state. When you approach your financial life with clarity and purpose, you activate the same creative force that shapes worlds. In the bustling city of inventors lived a young man named Ravi. He spent countless hours in his workshop, forcing his mind to generate new ideas. Yet his greatest breakthrough came unexpectedly, during a moment of complete stillness. As he sat in quiet meditation one dawn, the solution he had long sought suddenly appeared in his mind with perfect clarity. This truth echoes through the ages. Creation flows not from struggle, but from alignment. When you still the churning waters of your mind, you tap into the infinite well of abundance that exists within you. Your role is not to force wealth into being, but to align with the creative current that naturally flows through all things. Wealth creation is not a process of reaching outside yourself to grasp what you lack. Instead, it is an allowing, a recognition of the abundant nature of your own being. Just as a flower doesn't strain to bloom but naturally unfolds in the presence of sunlight, your prosperity emerges naturally when you align with your inner creator. Each day, find a quiet moment to connect with this truth. Sit in stillness and feel the creative force of the universe flowing through you. Remember that you are not separate from this power. You are one with it. As you affirm, I am the creator of my wealth, and abundance flows through me effortlessly. Feel these words resonating with the creative essence of your being. Let this practice remind you of your natural state of abundance and your innate power to shape your financial reality. Chapter 22. Sustaining the Infinite Flow of Abundance. In the heart of an ancient valley flowed a sacred river, its waters bringing life to all who dwelled along its banks. The river, known as the Eternal Flow, carried crystalline waters that seemed to sparkle with divine light. Yet there came a time when villagers began building dams and barriers, hoping to store its precious waters for themselves. As each obstacle arose, the river's flow diminished, until its once mighty current became but a trickle. A wise woman named Amara lived upstream, where the waters still ran pure and strong. She understood the river's secret, that its power lay not in containment, but in constant movement. When she shared this wisdom with the villagers, they removed their barriers one by one. As each obstacle fell away, the river's strength returned, bringing greater abundance than they had ever known through their attempts at control. You too possess this flowing river of abundance within you. When you allow it to move freely, maintaining your energetic alignment through daily practices and conscious awareness, prosperity flows naturally and consistently into your life. Like the river, wealth cannot be hoarded or controlled. It must flow freely to maintain its power. In the fertile plains of the East lived a farmer named Kai, who inherited a magnificent orchard from his ancestors. Initially, he believed the trees would bear fruit without his attention, but soon the branches grew wild and the harvest dwindled. Through bitter experience, he learned that abundance requires daily tending. Each morning he began walking among his trees, pruning dead branches, nourishing the soil, and expressing gratitude for each blossom and fruit. As seasons passed, Kai's orchard became renowned not just for its bounty, but for the sustainable nature of its harvest. While others experienced cycles of feast and famine, his trees produced consistently, year after year. The secret lay not in grand gestures, but in his daily devotion to maintaining harmony with nature's rhythms. This wisdom applies to your journey of abundance. It is not enough to align with prosperity once and expect it to sustain itself. Like Kai's orchard, your abundance requires regular attention, not from a place of worry or lack, but from a space of loving stewardship. Each day presents opportunities to tend to your energetic garden through gratitude, aligned action, and conscious awareness of your thoughts and emotions. Your abundance flourishes when you maintain a consistent vibrational frequency that matches the energy of prosperity. This means choosing thoughts that uplift, speaking words that empower, and taking actions that align with your highest good. Just as a farmer cannot force a seed to grow but can create optimal conditions for its flourishing, you create the conditions for sustainable abundance through your daily choices and practices. Take a moment now to reflect on one area of your life where abundance flows freely. Notice the thoughts, emotions, and actions that contribute to this natural state of flow. Consider how you might apply these same principles to other aspects of your life, nurturing the seeds of prosperity with consistent care and attention. Chapter 23. The Quantum Field of Wealth. In the ancient scrolls of wisdom, there lies a tale of a traveler named Rayan who journeyed through mystical lands until he discovered a lake unlike any other. Its surface gleamed like polished silver, yet when he gazed into its depths, he witnessed not his physical reflection but the manifestation of his thoughts and feelings. As fear crossed his mind, the waters darkened and churned. When peace filled his heart, the lake's surface became crystal clear, revealing treasures beneath. The universe operates much like this mystical lake, responding to the energy you project into it. Your thoughts and feelings are not mere abstract concepts floating in your mind. They are powerful forces that ripple through the quantum field, shaping the very fabric of your reality. This field, infinite in its potential, awaits your conscious direction. Every moment you stand at the threshold of infinite possibilities. Like waves in the quantum ocean, these possibilities exist simultaneously until your focused intention causes them to collapse into tangible experience. Your financial reality is not predetermined, but emerges from this dance between consciousness and possibility. In the distant mountains lived a scientist named Marcus who spent years studying the invisible forces of nature. While others dismissed what they could not see, he recognized that the most powerful forces were often unseen, like gravity, magnetism, and the bonds between atoms. Through patient observation and unwavering focus, he learned to harness these forces, creating innovations that transformed his world. Marcus discovered that intention, when aligned with deep feeling and unwavering focus, could influence the outcome of his experiments. His greatest breakthroughs came not from forcing results, but from entering a state of harmony with the natural forces he studied. Through this alignment, he witnessed the impossible become possible, as the unseen responded to his directed consciousness. Just as Marcus learned to work with invisible forces, you too can harness the quantum field that shapes your financial reality. Your focused intention acts as a signal, instructing this field to organize itself according to your vision. When you maintain clear, consistent thoughts of abundance while feeling the emotion of already having what you desire, you activate this creative process. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and imagine yourself surrounded by a vast, shimmering field of pure potential. Feel its responsive nature, how it ripples with your every thought. Now project your financial intentions into this field with crystal clarity. See them taking form, first as patterns of light, then gradually solidifying into physical reality. Feel the emotion of your manifestation as if it has already occurred. Let this practice remind you of your role as a conscious creator in the quantum dance of existence. Chapter 24. Living Abundance. In the mist-shrouded peaks of an ancient mountain range lived a monk named Aidan, who owned nothing but the robe on his back. Each morning he would sit in meditation, his weathered hands folded gently in his lap. Though his possessions were few, his heart overflowed with boundless joy and gratitude for the simple gifts of existence. One dawn, as sunlight pierced the morning fog, Aidan experienced a profound awakening. He realized that the wealth he sought had always resided within his own heart. As this truth blossomed within him, remarkable changes began manifesting in his external world. Travelers brought offerings, opportunities appeared unexpectedly, and abundance flowed naturally into his life. Your inner state creates your outer reality. Like a powerful magnet, your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs attract corresponding experiences into your life. When you cultivate genuine feelings of abundance within, the external world must reshape itself to match this inner richness. In the bustling marketplace of a distant city lived Ibrahim, a humble tailor whose creations were unlike any other. While other craftsmen focused solely on profit, Ibrahim poured love and joy into every stitch. As he worked, he felt deep gratitude for the ability to create beauty with his hands. Soon, word of his extraordinary garments spread far and wide. Nobles and merchants sought his work, not knowing that the true magic lay not in the threads, but in the love woven into each piece. The universe responds not to what you possess, but to the energy you emanate. When you nurture states of joy, gratitude, and inner fulfillment, you activate a natural law that must manifest these qualities in your external circumstances. Your inner abundance becomes the template from which your physical reality is molded. Each morning before the world awakens, sit in perfect stillness. Place your hand upon your heart and feel the warmth of inner abundance flowing through your being. Let this feeling expand until it fills every cell of your body. Experience the truth that all the wealth you seek already exists within you. Allow this inner richness to radiate outward, knowing it will naturally transform into external abundance. Chapter 25. The Art of Letting Go to Receive More. In the ancient city of Meridia, a renowned tightrope walker named Marcus performed breathtaking feats high above the crowded squares. Night after night he would grip his balance pole with white knuckles, his body tense with fear of falling. Though skilled, his performances lacked the grace that comes from true mastery. One evening, as the setting sun painted the sky in hues of amber, an old sage approached Marcus. "Your fear binds you more than any rope," the sage whispered. "Only in letting go will you find your wings." That night, Marcus ascended the platform and, for the first time, loosened his grip on the pole. As he stepped onto the wire, something miraculous occurred. His movements became fluid, effortless, almost dance-like. The crowd below gasped in wonder as he moved with unprecedented grace. You must understand that attachment to outcomes creates resistance in the natural flow of abundance. When you clutch tightly to your desires, you restrict the infinite ways the universe can deliver your good. Like a river that must flow freely, abundance requires space to move through your life. Fear of loss, anxiety about the future, and rigid expectations act as barriers to the natural current of prosperity. By releasing these mental constraints, you allow the universe to work through unlimited channels, often bringing you gifts far greater than you could have imagined. In a small village among rolling hills lived a young girl named Sarah. Each year on her birthday, her father would give her a beautiful balloon. She would hold it tightly, fearful of losing her precious gift. But on her 7th birthday, something different happened. As she watched the balloon dance in the wind, she felt moved to release it into the sky. Though tears filled her eyes as she watched it float away, she felt a strange peace in her heart. That evening, a mysterious basket appeared on her doorstep, filled with treasures beyond her wildest dreams, books of ancient wisdom, crystals that sparkled with inner light, and tokens of love from unknown benefactors. In letting go of one small attachment, she had opened herself to receive abundantly. When you release your grip on how things must be, you create space for the universe to surprise you with its generosity. Trust that what flows to you will be perfect, even if it arrives in unexpected forms. Find a quiet moment in your day. Identify one attachment or expectation that you've been holding tightly. It might be a specific outcome you desire, a timeline you've set, or a way you believe abundance must appear. Take a deep breath and consciously release this attachment, saying aloud, "I trust the universe to bring me what I need." Feel the lightness that comes with surrender, knowing that in letting go, you create space for greater blessings to enter. Chapter 26. Money as a Divine Instrument of Creation. In the heart of an ancient kingdom lived an artisan named Thaddeus, whose hands possessed the rare gift of transforming gold into objects of profound spiritual significance. Each morning, as the sun's first rays touched his workshop, he would bow before his materials, acknowledging the sacred nature of his craft. The gold he worked with was more than mere metal. It was divine energy made manifest. Money flows through your life as a sacred current waiting to be shaped by your highest intentions. Like the artisan's gold, it holds within it the potential for transformation, ready to take the form of your deepest purpose. When you recognize money as spiritual energy, you begin to see its true nature. It is neither good nor evil, but rather a pure force awaiting direction from your consciousness. Every coin, every transaction, becomes an opportunity to express divine creativity through material form. In a distant valley, there lived a wealthy merchant named Ibrahim, who had amassed great riches through his trading ventures. Yet his heart remained unfulfilled until the day he witnessed a child unable to read a simple sign. This moment awakened him to his true purpose. With careful intention, he began channeling his wealth into building schools throughout the land. Each school became more than just a building. It was a temple of learning where dreams took flight. As Ibrahim watched generations of children discover knowledge within the walls his money had built, he understood a fundamental truth. Wealth aligned with purpose creates ripples of transformation that extend far beyond the initial investment. You possess within you the power to transmute money from simple currency into a force for positive change. When you align your financial resources with your soul's calling, you participate in a sacred act of creation. Each dollar becomes a seed of potential, carrying within it the power to manifest beauty, wisdom, or healing in the world. Take a moment of silence and connect with your heart's deepest aspirations. Let the external world fade away as you journey inward to that sacred space where truth resides. In your journal, write down one specific way you can use money as a tool for meaningful creation. Let your vision extend beyond personal gain to touch the lives of others. What seeds of transformation could your resources plant in the garden of humanity? What lights could your abundance ignite in the darkness? Feel the sacred responsibility and joy of using financial resources to manifest positive change in your world. As you contemplate this noble purpose, know that you are participating in an ancient tradition of wise stewardship that has elevated civilizations throughout time. Chapter 27. Leaving a Legacy of Wealth and Wisdom. In a distant valley nestled among rolling hills lived a gardener named Soren who spent his days planting fruit trees. While others sought quick harvests, Soren carefully selected saplings that would take decades to bear their first fruit. "These trees," he would say as he worked the soil, "are not for me, but for those who will walk these paths long after I am gone." You hold within your hands seeds of possibility that extend far beyond your earthly journey. Each choice you make in managing and directing your resources plants roots that will nourish future generations. This truth has been understood by the wise throughout the ages. Wealth, when properly cultivated, grows into a legacy that sustains both body and spirit. Consider how your current financial decisions ripple through time. Every investment, every act of generosity, every lesson shared about abundance creates branches that reach into tomorrow. True wealth is not measured merely in accumulated treasures, but in the lasting impact it creates in the lives of others. In a mountain village lived a teacher named Maya who possessed little material wealth, but understood the richest inheritance she could leave was wisdom. Each day, she gathered her students and shared not just knowledge but understanding about the sacred nature of abundance. "What I give you," she would tell them, "multiplies as you share it with others." Years later, her students became teachers themselves, and the wisdom she planted continued to bloom in countless hearts. The universe has entrusted you with resources, both material and spiritual, not simply for your own benefit, but as seeds to be planted for future harvests. Your financial choices carry the power to nurture dreams beyond your own, to sustain visions that will flourish long after your physical presence has faded. As you align your wealth with higher purpose, you participate in an eternal cycle of giving that transcends time. Every act of conscious abundance creates ripples that touch shores you may never see. This is the sacred responsibility and joy of creating a legacy aligned with universal truth. Now, in the silence of this moment, contemplate the garden of abundance you wish to cultivate for future generations. Take your journal and write a statement expressing the legacy of wealth and wisdom you desire to leave behind. Let your words flow from that deep place within where eternal truth resides. This declaration becomes a compass, guiding your financial choices toward creating lasting impact that will continue to bear fruit in the lives of others. Chapter 28. Harmonizing Prosperity with Inner Peace. In a distant realm there lived a king named Aldrich who ruled over vast territories. Despite his wealth and power, his kingdom suffered from constant turmoil, mirroring the storm that raged within his own heart. Each morning, he would pace the palace halls, fretting over decisions and struggling to maintain control over his expanding empire. One day, an ancient sage appeared at his court. Instead of offering advice about governance, the sage simply placed a bowl of water before the king. "Watch," he instructed. As Aldrich's agitated thoughts stirred the water, ripples disturbed its surface, distorting everything reflected within. But when he grew still, the water cleared, revealing perfect clarity. You possess the same wisdom that transformed Aldrich's reign. When you learn to still the waters of your mind, abundance flows naturally and effortlessly. The universe responds not to desperate grasping, but to the calm certainty that emerges from inner peace. In the mountains of the East lived a renowned healer named Jinn, who created powerful elixirs by combining fire and water. Many sought to learn his secret, but few understood that his mastery came not from technique, but from his balanced state of being. The elements respond to harmony, he would say, just as prosperity responds to a peaceful heart. Your relationship with wealth mirrors this ancient truth. When you approach money from a place of inner turbulence, it becomes a source of struggle. But when you cultivate tranquility within, financial flows naturally align with your highest good. The path to lasting abundance requires not just action in the outer world, but cultivation of inner stillness. Like Jinn's perfectly balanced elixirs, your prosperity emerges from the harmonious blend of spiritual peace and material engagement. This wisdom echoes through the ages. True wealth flourishes in the soil of a peaceful mind. As you learn to maintain inner calm amidst life's challenges, you create the optimal conditions for abundance to grow. Find a quiet space where you can be undisturbed and gently close your eyes. Allow your breath to become steady and deep. feeling each inhale bring clarity and each exhale release tension. As you settle into stillness like a pond becoming mirror smooth, repeat this sacred phrase with quiet conviction. I am at peace with prosperity, and it flows to me effortlessly. Let these words sink deep into your being, past the surface of conscious thought and into the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. Feel their truth resonating in every cell, creating a foundation of tranquility from which your abundance can naturally emerge, like a flower opening to the morning sun. In this space of perfect calm, you become a natural channel for prosperity's infinite flow. Chapter 29, The Dance of Spirit and Money. In the Valley of 1,000 Temples dwelt a dancer named Maya, whose movements captured the attention of both earth and sky. Each dawn, she would emerge from her humble dwelling, bare feet touching the sacred ground, and begin her dance. As her body swayed, the very air seemed to shimmer with golden light, and those who watched spoke of seeing the universe itself move through her. You hold within you this same capacity to move in harmony with life's greater rhythms. Money, like the dance, flows as an expression of universal energy, not separate from spirit, but a manifestation of it. When you align with this truth, you discover that wealth and spirituality intertwine naturally, like breath and movement. The ancient teachings reveal that resistance to money often stems from a misunderstanding of its sacred nature. Just as Maya's dance brought heaven and earth together, your relationship with abundance can bridge the material and spiritual realms. In the eastern mountains lived a master weaver named Kai, whose tapestries were sought by nobles and sages alike. While others saw gold thread as mere decoration, Kai understood it as light made tangible. He would weave strands of gold with the finest silk, creating patterns that seemed to pulse with living energy. The gold, he would say, does not diminish the silk's beauty. It illuminates it. Your spiritual path and financial abundance share the same relationship. Money, when approached with consciousness, becomes a thread of light weaving through the fabric of your spiritual journey. It enables acts of service, creates opportunities for growth, and manifests your highest intentions in the physical world. The wisdom traditions teach that the separation between spiritual and material wealth exists only in the mind. When you release this artificial division, you open yourself to experience abundance as a natural expression of your divine nature. Like Kai's masterpieces, your life becomes a beautiful integration of the sacred and the tangible. Take a moment now to find a quiet space where you can reflect deeply. Close your eyes and envision money as a sacred energy flowing through your life. How might this force support your spiritual growth? What dreams and aspirations could manifest through this divine partnership? Feel the harmony that emerges when you allow wealth and spirit to dance together, creating a life of purpose and abundance. Let this vision guide you toward a deeper understanding of money's role in your spiritual journey, knowing that as you embrace this sacred union, both your inner and outer worlds will transform. Chapter 30. Becoming a living embodiment of abundance. In the highest peaks of the mystic mountains lived a sage named Adamus, whose very presence seemed to transform the barren rocks into gardens of abundance. Travelers spoke of how the harsh winds would soften around his dwelling, and even the simplest meals shared in his presence tasted like feasts fit for kings. Yet Adamus possessed no material wealth. His richness flowed from within, touching all who crossed his path. You too carry this sacred potential. The universe responds not to what you have, but to what you are. When your being resonates with abundance, the external world naturally aligns to mirror this internal state. In the depths of your consciousness lies this same transformative power. Like Adamus, you can become a living embodiment of prosperity, radiating abundance through your mere presence. This state emerges not from acquiring or achieving, but from aligning with the infinite source that flows through all things. Along the treacherous coastline stood an ancient lighthouse, its keeper known only as the Silent One. Night after night, ships found safe harbor, guided by its unwavering light. The sailors whispered that those who followed its beam not only avoided the dangerous rocks, but discovered unexpected treasures in the calm waters near shore. This lighthouse mirrors your highest potential, to become so aligned with abundance that you naturally guide others to their own prosperity. Just as the lighthouse does not strain or struggle to shine, true wealth flows effortlessly when you embody its essence. The ancient wisdom reveals that manifesting abundance requires no effort when you have become abundance itself. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions naturally align with prosperity because they spring from your transformed nature. Like the sage whose presence blessed the mountains, or the lighthouse whose light guided ships to treasure, you become a living channel through which universal abundance flows. Find a quiet moment each morning before the world stirs. Close your eyes and feel yourself becoming a vessel of infinite abundance. Let this truth resonate through every cell of your being as you affirm, "I am abundance and my life reflects infinite prosperity." Allow this knowing to settle into your bones, becoming not just a thought, but your very essence. Conclusion. In the timeless library of wisdom there exists a tale of a seeker named Theron who journeyed across vast deserts and treacherous mountains in search of the legendary Fountain of Abundance. For years, he followed maps and ancient scrolls, each promising to reveal its location. Yet after exhausting every path, he found himself back where he began, in his own garden. As he sat beneath the old oak tree, weary from his travels, Theron noticed how the morning dew sparkled like diamonds on every leaf. The fruits hanging from his trees gleamed like gold in the sunlight. In that moment of perfect stillness, he realized the abundance he sought had been flowing through him all along. You have walked a similar path through these chapters, uncovering the sacred language of money. Like Theron, you may have begun this journey believing abundance lay somewhere outside yourself. Yet as each teaching has unfolded, you have awakened to the truth. The infinite source of prosperity resides within you. The wisdom you now hold transcends mere knowledge. It has become part of your being, transforming how you move through the world. Every breath you take resonates with the frequency of abundance. Each thought you think aligns with the universal flow of prosperity. Your journey with these teachings marks not an ending, but a beginning. As you step forward from this book, you carry within you the power to manifest unlimited abundance. The sacred principles you have embraced will continue to unfold, revealing deeper layers of truth as you walk your path. Remember that you are now a living embodiment of prosperity consciousness. Your presence alone activates the flow of abundance, touching all who cross your path. Like ripples in a pond, your alignment with wealth creates waves of prosperity that extend far beyond your immediate sphere. The time has come to declare your commitment to this transformed state of being. Find a quiet space where you can be fully present. Hold a coin in your palm or light a candle. Let this simple object become a sacred symbol of your dedication to embodying infinite abundance. Speak these words with the full power of your awakened consciousness. I am an endless money magnet, and my prosperity knows no limits. Let this declaration mark your emergence as a master of money's sacred language, a channel through which unlimited abundance flows eternally. Choose a meaningful object, perhaps a coin passed down through generations or a freshly lit candle. Hold it in your hands and feel the energy of abundance flowing through you. Declare aloud, "I am an endless money magnet, and my prosperity knows no limits." Let this moment seal your commitment to living as an embodiment of infinite abundance. If you enjoyed this exclusive audiobook, I handpicked this next book which will change your life.